Hey ladies, I decided to do this video today because it touches on a topic that I have personally dealt with myself, and that is a misogynist. A misogynist is defined as a man who simply hates women. And I had to come to find out the hard way that this is actually something that is not changed. It is not fixed by you being over loving or cuddly or sweet or over sexing or anything like that. It is a mental disorder that needs help, counseling, attention, mediation. I personally went through this for 1.8 years with a man that I dated that I thought that could change. I ignored the signs, but simply because of the fact that I was uneducated. I did not know what a misogynist was up until about a year ago. So I'm taking time out of my life to educate you and warn you about these men. There are certain things that they do that will begin to manifest. A misogynist cannot hide who he is. A tiger can't hide his stripes. It will manifest itself in him comparing you to a mother that he does not like. That's not good. Comparing you to an ex-girlfriend that he had a bad experience with. Tearing down your self-esteem. Criticizing you. And the criticizing usually starts small, but it only gets worse. He may criticize your hair, your makeup. You wear too much makeup. You don't wear enough makeup. You know, your outfits, your style. He will just criticize you and tear you down piece by piece, slowly. But let's start, for me, I want to go back to the roots of misogyny, because that's what I wanted to find out. I wanted to find out why this man was this way, because I loved him and I wanted to know if it was possible to get help for these guys. First of all, let me say, if the guy does not even realize that he has a hatred for women, there is no hope. For me, there was no hope because my man did not realize that he had problems, that he had an issue. But there are several types of misogynists. It usually is triggered either by A, a mother, or B, an ex-girlfriend, or a woman that they once loved in the past, or fiance or wife or whatever. As far as a mother, there are certain things that he would have seen that would have triggered that. Usually this type of misogyny has started way back before you were in a picture, at adolescent, young adulthood. This would be the guy who he saw his mom being promiscuous, which leads me to this as well. Women, if you have children, it is not good for your son to see you, even if you're dating and you're not sleeping with them. If you're not monogamous with a man, it is not healthy for a guy to see his mother having 3, 4 boyfriends a year. Dated this guy, they broke up. In his head, he registers it and he starts to think that his mother is promiscuous or whore, so to speak, and other women will suffer. And if a man believes that his mother is promiscuous and a whore, it's going to be very hard for him not to believe that other women are that way. Also, you know, it may have stemmed from a mother that tore down his self-esteem or told him that he wasn't anything, or picked and joked on him, joked about him being fat, or whatever the case may be. Women, just like you tell your daughter that she's beautiful, you need to tell your son that he's handsome, but don't overdo it, because we don't want a conceited little guy running around. But women, build up your son's self-esteem. Tell him that he can be somebody, that he is worth something. It doesn't matter where you're from, whether it's from the ghetto or whatever. Build up his self-esteem, He needs to get that at home first, not through a girlfriend, but through his mother. Another thing that women do, we make this mistake of assuming that because a man has a mother and a father that he was raised with, we believe that he came from a healthy environment that could possibly lead to him to being a good partner or husband. This could not be any further from the truth. If a son had a mother that was passive and a father that walked all over her, if he saw his father being verbally abusive and physically abusive, and a mother that did not nip it in the bud, and a mother that continued to allow this and stay with the father, we as women, we assume that, oh, you know, if a guy tells us that his mom was beat on and abused, we assume that he'll have that superhero mentality. This is not true. Some men, the misogyny starts there and is triggered, and he begins to believe that if my mom was insecure, if my mom was a doormat, then all women are doormats. I cannot remember the psychologist who said this. I would have to look it up. But I do know that there was a psychologist that has done extensive research and said if a man does not have a healthy view and love for his mother, that he is not capable of having a healthy relationship and truly love a woman that he's dated. So women, you have to really look at that, you know, notice, pay attention, and listen to, you know, how he talks about his mom, the interaction and relationship that his father and his mother had in their marriage or their relationship. So really pay attention to that. You know, did his mother have 3 or 4 different baby daddies? Not looking down on that or judging, but sometimes when men see that, they become damaged. Did his mother value herself highly? If she did not, he's not going to think that you're capable of doing it. The second misogynist, I call these the bitter guys. These are the guys that have experienced a ton of rejection, which sometimes could be because of the fact that they're insecure, they don't dress well, they have bad breath, or, you know, they're extremely forward with women, and they're bitter. They're bitter because they want women to fall at their feet, they want attention, and women don't give them that, and they're bitter. So you are going to pay and be the punching bag for every woman that has denied him, that has turned him down at the club. His little ego is hurt and wounded, and he needs counseling, and he needs to be reprogrammed and realize that, I mean, it may not completely be his fault, but I mean, you know, if a guy is dropping corny lines in the club, is wearing cheap cologne and stuff like that, then he has nobody but himself to blame, but his 2, 3, and 4 years of rejection and, you know, not in his lack of success in the dating field. Another type of guy that I call is the fantasy guy. These are men that no matter what you do, you'll never be enough, because their obsession with porn and women that are way out of their reach, like celebrities and stuff like that, you'll never be visually stimulating enough for him. These are guys that will break down your physical attributes. Your boobs aren't big enough. You know, I prefer a double D. These are the guys that are trying to get you to get a boob job and probably won't even pay for it. Or the guys that are telling you that you need butt shots. Don't put up with that. These guys will never be enough. If you get the boob job, it still will not be enough, because he has a fantasy mind thing going on and desires that are not normal. Yes, these women in the porns and the videos and stuff are very beautiful, but normal women normally do not look like that, and the guys are actually mad at you because you don't look like the fantasy that he wants. He wants to sleep with that porn star. He wants to sleep with JLo. He wants to sleep with Halle Berry, but he settled for you, and you're not good enough for him. Do not put up with that. What was it? Also the small penis. These are the guys that they may not even have a small penis. They did a study and they said that 85% of men do not believe that their penis is up to par. So they may not even have a small penis. These are the guys that no matter how much you know, pleasure them and please them and sexually build up their confidence, they'll always have a hatred for you because they just believe that their penis is not big enough and they'll never satisfy you. Your orgasms can be real, but they think that you're faking them. And these are guys also that maybe have had an ex or someone that is hit below the belt and told them that they you know, have a small penis, which I really think is wrong, because women, we don't want a guy to tell us that we have small breasts or whatever. So you shouldn't say that to a guy, because it can definitely damage him. If a guy didn't think that his penis was big enough for his ex-girlfriend who he was in love with, then he's never going to believe that it's enough for you. So just forget it. He's got a low self-esteem and there's nothing you can do. Another type of misogynist, the Napoleon Napoleon guy. These are the guys that are short. They've had a lot of rejection and a lot of bitterness because of their size. Not all guys that have the Napoleon Dynamite, Napoleon syndrome, which actually is a syndrome, an actual syndrome, whatever. Not all guys that are short have this issue, but there are some guys that are really short and that are bitter and mad at the world because they're not tall enough for what women want. They don't qualify for average. They're under 5'11", they're under 5'10", or damn near even under 5'5", and they're mad about that. They're bitter. So you're going to be the punching bag for this guy. But you see, it goes, or you got the chubby guy who's mad, or whatever. But anyway, one thing that I want you women to realize, there is nothing you can do to change these guys. I sat back in a relationship for a year and 8 months and put up with certain forms of abuse. My misogynist was a double whammy. He had issue. He was the misogynist that, has a fantasy. My boobs were not big enough. And also because of his hatred for his mom. Every time we had an argument or something, I was constantly being compared to the mom. And he just had a hatred for her because of things that stemmed way back in childhood before I was in the picture. But, I definitely want to educate you women, because up until a year ago, I was not aware and was not educated and had no clue what a misogynist was. I would definitely encourage you to go do your own research, extensive research possibly. We need to know about this. A lot of women, we go out here, we want a good man, we want to be married and all of that, but we don't even, if you can't, recognize the sign of these type of men that are out there, because guess what? These type of guys and misogynists are going to be the guys that are single. They're going to be the guys that are saying, oh, I'm nice, I'm this, I don't know why I'm single, I don't know why all the women I've dated leave me or left me. No. You have to really do your research. You have to be able to recognize the signs, or you could be like me in a year and a half long relationship and not aware that the man that I was with would never be able to truly love me and accept me for who I am and the woman that I deserve, because he had a mental issue that needed counseling and mediation or whatever. So, women, I just gotta say, just leave you with this. Just be careful, love yourself, and appreciate yourself, and find out what you want in a man and what you need out of that man. And I'm only 23. If I've experienced this, I'm sure, and if I was not educated on this, I'm sure there are plenty of women out there that are dealing with a guy that they're just not enough for. They're doing so much to keep him happy and just are not aware that nothing that they can do would be enough, and that they're beating a dead horse. So I just want to leave you with this. Leave your comments or your personal experience down below of a misogynist, or what you've been through. Goodbye.